Everyone's trying to find real estate buyers the hard way. Today, I'm going to show you how to use AI sales systems to find people who already have buyers and get them to send those buyers to you. My name is Sal. I built sales systems for a living. Before this, I was a nightclub bouncer, then became a freelancer. Then I got banned on Upwork with over $2,000 frozen. So I took the courage and started a sales agency that makes me $139K per month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the entire strategy end to end, the N8N system, along with everything that you need to get up and running and start making money. So let's get into it.
As a sales systems agency that built outreach systems for companies, one of the hardest niches is real estate. And typically when I worked with them throughout my career, the only thing that they say is they want buyers, which makes sense. I mean, they want buyers. But I'm here to tell you guys that getting buyers for real estate is not impossible. But the main problem is that you can't just cold email buyers. You can't just reach out to buyers. So you can't really cold email people asking, want to buy real estate? Because nobody wants random property pitches and it doesn't work, okay? But I'm showing you guys a way to make that work, okay? So this is what I like to call the gatekeeper strategy, which is a method along many methods that I've came up with when I was scaling my agency to 80K a month. So here's the idea. Instead of cold emailing random people to buy real estate, simply partner with professionals who already have relationships with people who have money and want real estate investments. So you would position yourself as the connector between businesses that serve the same customer base. So you don't need to find individual buyers. You need to find people who already have access to buyers, okay? So in short, here's the idea behind it, okay? Here's like the big idea. So find complementary service providers who already have relationships with your target demographic. And this doesn't apply just to real estate. It applies to any B2C business, okay? So ask yourself, who already talks to people with money who need real estate? So you find them, partner with them, and take a cut, okay? Here's an example of how it plays out. So most real estate clients would say, can you find me buyers? But if you try to cold email random rich people, well, it's spammy, expensive, and gets low results, or I shouldn't say that, like very, very, very low results. So that's a B2C lead gen, and it's a nightmare. You can't really just cold email random people. So instead, you go upstream, okay? You go for the whole damn pie, and you say, I don't go after buyers directly. I go after the people who already talk to buyers every day, and I turn them into referral machines. So now your real estate client isn't getting one buyer at a time. They're getting a wealth manager who can send them 10 clients over the next year, which is extremely valuable. So what do you do as a sales agency? Well, you build a list of money managers, which is going to be investment advisors. I'm going to show you guys step by step. And you also build a simple sales system that sends cold email, offering a referral partnership. We're going to do this using no code. So either make.com or N8N. So no coding required. And you get intros flowing back to real estate clients. So it's kind of like real estate lead gen, but smarter. You don't fight for attention in Facebook ads. You don't waste time on tire kickers, and you go where the trust already exists. Okay. Here's an analogy for you. So the information just stays in your brain. Okay. Think of it like this. Okay. I want you to imagine that your friend has a car and another friend needs a car. They don't know each other. So you introduce them. They both win and they say thanks and maybe buy you lunch. Except here, the lunch is money. Okay. So here's an example email that we're going to send to these investment advisors. Okay. So I like to call this automating the whole pie. So I'm going to show you guys step by step how we're going to generate this entire copy using AI. So basically, we're just going to have to build the lists, and then we find these prospects, and we're going to use N8N or like make.com to build out an entire system that's going to automate the entire flow. Okay, so here's an example dream email. Mark, your clients with 2+ million portfolios keep asking about real estate diversification, but you probably don't want to become a property expert on top of everything else you're managing. I work with investment advisors who have this exact problem. Their high net worth clients want real estate exposure beyond RITs, but the advisors don't have bandwidth to source deals, handle due diligence, or manage properties. Here's what I do. I bring you vetted commercial and residential investment opportunities that fit your client's risk profiles. You make the introduction, I handle everything else as your client gets the real estate allocation they want. Your clients stay with you, you earn referral fees on deals that close, and you don't have to become a real estate expert. Worth a 15-minute call to see if this makes sense for any of your clients who've been asking about real estate. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to turn this into a template. So you see this first name? It could be any name. For example, we just picked Mark, so it could be Peter. So this is just a variable that's going to be interchangeable once we get these personas and these leads, okay? So your type of clients, your clients with 2 million plus portfolio. Again, this is interchangeable based off the data that we're gonna scrape, based off the lists, based off the information that we're gonna get from these leads. Keep asking about problem or opportunity. Again, same thing, just like a variable, interchangeable. But I'm guessing the last thing you want is to become unrelated experts roles. Again, this is basically another variable. Let me just make this bold. On top of everything else you're managing. Essentially, we have the remaining of the copy, okay? So step 1, how can we find these investment advisors? Well, there's multiple ways. You can literally go ahead and scrape industry databases. For example, advisor info, and you can literally find people here. And you can literally go to investment advisor data, and you can download it, okay? For example, if I go to form data files, and you can literally download the latest one, which was May, right? So you can scrape data off here, but I'm going to show you guys another way to do it, which is a better way, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Exa AI, okay? And Exa AI is basically like a web crawler that literally goes into the internet, finds any kind of leads that you want, and just gives you the data in Google Sheets, which is awesome. So I'm simply going to go to websets, and I'm going to type in, before I actually do that, I'm going to click on people, and I'm going to type in investment advisor, actively registered only, because we only want to deal with actively registered, USA, and we want firms managing plus 50 million minimum. And we're going to click on it. And as you guys can see, we will see that we will have companies here. So there we go. Maple Capital Management, etc. So in terms of result count, let's just put 300 for now. Start search. And we will see that XIAI is going to go ahead and retrieve this data for us, okay, in a couple minutes, which is awesome, okay? So it's initializing one result analyzed. So it analyzes the web for you and just gives you the data finalized. So you will see here that it's a match. So if it's a match, it's going to give you another match here and another match here, okay? So it checks if the firm is registered as an investment advisor in the USA. And if it's yes, it's going to give you match. Again, firm manages at least 50 million in the assets. So again, match, right? So let's see. We're going to find some companies. So we already found 3 right now, which is 3. So 5 so far. We're just going to have to wait. So as it's getting data for me, I'm going to click on this add column, enrichment, and I want the exact persona. In our case, is going to be the investment advisor. Copy this. So name of the investment advisor. Provide only one. And I'm going to click on create. So Excel is going to give me the name of the investment advisor. It's going to give me the full name, okay? So there we go. We found this guy, James Bailey. So some of these don't actually have one, or they don't actually state that. So as you guys can see, Gradient Investments. So we have John Golov, etc. We found 38 matches so far, which is awesome. All right, sweet. So Exa just finished getting me all this gold mine of data. Now I'm simply going to have to click on download. So download. And then I'm going to basically go to sheets.new. Essentially, sheets.new is just a domain that was recently created by Google. So instead of you going to Google Drive and creating a new Google Sheets, you can just go to sheets.new, or you can go also docs.new. And there we go. You can create a new Google Doc. So it's going to save you a lot of time. So I'm simply going to go to File, Imports, Upload, and then I'm simply going to drag and drop this here. Okay, import location is going to be append, import data. And now I'm going to have all this data scraped from Exa here in my Google Sheets. So first I'm going to make this bold, and then I'm going to choose intro as my font. So this is the title. Now I don't want the title because actually I do need the title. Yeah, I do need the title. Okay, so this is the description. I do need it. Actively as an investment advisor. Okay, I'm just going to delete this. The cool part about Exa, it also gives you reasoning why they give you this data, which is awesome. So again, delete this. So firm manages at least 50 million in asset management. This is the reasoning. Okay. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. So firm manages at least reasoning, name of the investment advisor results. Okay. Name of the investor advisor reasoning. I'm just gonna delete it. So let me make this a bit bold. And then name of the investor results. Okay, I'm going to remove this result, keep the name. Basically what I'm doing now, I'm just cleaning up the data for you guys so you can see it clearly. Okay, so I have everything I need. Well, now I'm just going to have to make this a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Make this blue, or maybe, what do I like? I like purple. It's my lucky color today. Okay, so we have the title, we have description, we have everything. So let's just name this real estate AI sales system. Okay, so now I have this list. Well, what do I do with it? Well, first I need to clean up this full names. So what I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna type in here, gonna add another row, and then I'm just gonna make this purple, just like I said. And then I'm gonna type in name or firm /firm. Okay, so I should put this in the new row here. Name or firm. Okay, so now I'm gonna check if it's a name or firm. All right, so I'm simply gonna go to N8N. I'm gonna go to overview, create a workflow. Click on this add first step, trigger manually. Now, if I click on it, nothing is going to happen because I need to link it. So I'm going to click on this plus button and I'm going to look for sheets. Now, there's something annoying about N8N when it comes to cheats that you can't really like retrieve just one record and test, build out an AI sales system or build any workflow. It's like an all or nothing situation. So essentially what I've done is we came up with an API which is called the Google Sheets API. And I'm going to leave it for free for you guys. So let me just go to this flow and I'm going to retrieve that. So let me go here. So this is what it's called, Google Sheets Reader Verifier. So I'm just going to put it here and I'm going to show you guys one thing, okay? So we built an API masters Google Sheets. So basically like an API that we built, okay, that lets us manipulate Google Sheets however we want, okay? And I'm going to leave it for you guys for free to use, okay? So this is the URL that you're going to be using. So let me just go here. And then I'm simply going to click share. Anyone with the link, copy this link. And then I'm simply going to have to put this sheet URL, tab 1, obviously, and limits, I'm just going to put 1. Execute the step. So check this out. Now I can get access to one item, okay? But if I try to use Google Sheets, because it doesn't make sense for me to use this, and you guys use the Google Sheets, you know, it would be unreasonable for me to do it. So get rows in Sheets. So if I didn't share with you guys this, well, here's what you should be doing. So real estate agents, sheet 1, and if I execute the step, so I got 200 items, okay? So 200 items, like I don't want to deal with 200 items off the bat. Like I want to build out the system and then test record by record, okay? Instead of me wasting operations and building this entire thing and testing in real time with 200 records. Imagine you have 5,000 leads or 5,000 records. Well, that's a pain. So we're just going to use the reader right now. Okay, so I got one, right? So I got one item here. I have the title, etc. So I'm just going to use AI. So LLM. I'm going to show you guys a cool way. Okay. So what we're going to do is filter. So filter JSON name by either a full name or first name. Output only full name if it's a full name. Okay. Let's execute the step. So it's a full name. Okay. So this is the prompt. Filter investor. Filter investment advisor name by either a full name or firm name. Output only if it's a full name or a firm name. Okay, so now we have it's a full name. So now I'm just going to update the sheets. So update sheets, update a row in a sheet. So I'm going to go to choose real estate from sheet 1. And then I'm going to go to row number. And then I'm simply going to add the row number here. And so name/firm, it's going to be full name. Okay. So now I'm going to, let's say, let's just do limit 150. Execute the step. So I'm going to get 150. And now, check this out. 19, 20, 21, and I'm going to see this here and name a firm. All right, awesome. So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm simply going to make a copy to this, make a copy. First one, I'm going to filter by full name. Boom. So all I have to do, put this here. Boom, now I have it's a full name, okay? And then now I'm going to copy this, put this here. And there we go. Okay, so that's a full name, all right? So let me just delete this one. And I'm going to do the same thing, okay? Simply going to filter by now firm name. Boom. So I have full name, create a new sheet, paste this here, and then copy this entire thing and put it here. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to delete this, right? Now I have lists where it's a firm name, and then I have another list where it's a full name. Okay, I'm going to go back to my flow. Okay, and then I'm simply going to try to find their emails. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this one, and then I'm just going to unlink this for now, delete this, and I'm going to try to find their emails. So I'm just going to use either the command center, which is basically like a tool that we built specifically for the community, which is essentially like they can just find emails, scrape leads, verify emails at zero cost. Instead of them paying for additional software, so can they actually like focus on doing the work. Because if you guys noticed, let's say if you want to do this outside of SSM, you're going to have to go to an email finder, right? So an email finder is very, very pricey. And it was very hard for me when I first got started, man. Like it was super hard to pay this like monthly 10K, like $200 for just 10K credits. It's stupid. So I was like, how can I make it super easy for members? That way they don't have this, this stress about, oh man, I need to pay for like finders, email finders, all this stuff. So I was like, let me just build my own. Okay. So that's my thought process behind it. But today we're not going to be using it because, you guys are watching this and you don't have access to this. We're just going to use an email finder. Okay. So I'm going to click on this plus button, and then I'm going to use an HTTP request, so HTTP, and I'm going to go to my email finder. Let me close this tab, go to app. And then I'm going to go to API, read API documentation, and the one that I want is find a person's email. So the endpoint is a post, copy this. So method is post because as you guys can see, it's a post. So post, URL, this is the URL. Send, so authentication is going to be generic credential type, and it's going to be bearer. Okay. So we're gonna create a new credential. Let's name this an email finder, v3 for example, and this is your API key. So copy it, paste it here, and save. So now, what do I do? Well, I need to send a body, so send body using JSON, and this is the one. So body is this one. So copy it, paste it here, and we're gonna see if we're gonna find the email. So we're just gonna have to put the URL. Okay, so let's just copy this. And then the name is the name. There we go. Before I proceed, I'm just gonna put 1 here. Limit just 1. And then I'm gonna execute and see if I'm gonna find the email. Obviously, there's a 50%. Okay, so valid, awesome. So we found the email. So this is the guy, Salvatore Moyu. Okay, so now we're gonna add an if. So we're gonna do email string exists. There we go. So if it exists, well, it's true, right? So now, if it's true, well, what do? Well, the second thing we need to do is we need to generate the copy, okay? So we're going to click on this plus button, add an LLM model, not Ollama, just a basic LLM chain. Let me delete this. So click on this plus button, LLM, which is basic LLM chain, define below, and we're going to do generate a statement similar to, we're going to go back here, copy this entire thing, and then I need to make this, I'm going to add a placeholder instead of this. All right, so I'm just going to copy this entire thing, paste it in my N8N workflow, and I'm going to say example perfect output. And it's going to be the perfect output, which is this one. Copy, paste it here, output nothing but the end result. And now we're going to add another model, which is Azure again, GPT-4o. And then I'm going to go to properties and I'm going to lower the temperature to sampling temperature 0.3. So it's more casual. Okay. So let me just execute. So obviously email is going to be found. It's true. So let's see. Your small business clients keep asking about tax efficient retirement plans, but you probably don't want to become a tax strategist on top of everything else as you're managing. Forgot to feed in the one here. Oh yeah. We forgot to add the description. My bad. Okay. And then we're also going to add the reasoning. Now let's execute the flow. Now we're going to have the actual output that should be. Okay, so check this out. Your high net worth clients keep asking about tax efficient investment strategies, but you probably don't want to become a tax accountant on top of everything else as you're managing. This is what I like to call the anti-fragile method, which is like you can literally generate a high quality personalization based of a template instead of like trying to get AI to generate the entire thing, because AI is pretty dumb. But if you give it like a template with a human, you wrote the template with exactly what you want, like AI is just gonna pick that data up and just plug it in there. Okay, so sweets. What do I do now? I'm gonna update the sheet. Okay, so update the sheet, and then I'm gonna go to, before I actually do it, I need to add another column, which is email. Make this white, and then this is gonna be personalization. Personalization. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my N8N flow, simply add the results here in personalization, the email, which is going to be an results. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an email finder and I'm going to batch so I don't get rate limited. So I'm simply going to go to continue and continue using error output. And then I'm going to batch this by 50. Let's just do 10 every 1000 ms. Yeah. So let's just execute the flow. So we're going to see that we're going to get this here. So we have an error. Yeah, we forgot to add this here, row number. So row number here. Okay. So execute the flow. And we're going to have this in a Google Sheets now. There we go. We have the email and we have the personalization. Okay. Now let's just run this. For example, let's just do 50. Execute the step. Okay. So essentially batching an email finder. So that's the cool part about N8N, it just batches things. Okay. We're going to continue until we actually find the emails. So if it's success, keep in mind that when you use platforms like an email finder, Hunter, all these enrichment platforms, it's typically like a 50 to 60% chance they will find the email. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, they can't just find any email. All right. Sweet. So as you guys can see, only 9 errors, which is awesome. So 41 were actually success. We found the emails. So now we're going to see everything here in a Google Sheets. Boom. And there we go. Awesome. So now, the only thing we have to do is, again, filter by, create a filter, and remove the blanks because we don't want to deal with blanks, obviously. Now we have the full names with the personalization, with email, etc. Keep in mind, this is highly personalized. Think about it, like just one deal out of these companies. You don't need to go, like, this is not a volume game here, guys. It's not a volume game. It's all about personalization and precision. Think about it like you're a sniper, not like, you know, you're not using an SMG, okay? So this is the email, this is the personalization. Now, the only thing we have to do is simply just upload this to instantly, okay? And if you're wondering, what do we do with the list that we have, like not a full name, but we have a firm name? So we can do the same thing, guys. The only thing we have to do is change the endpoint. And then let me go to my copy, which is copy of real estate sales system. Okay. So this is a firm name. So same thing, we can do email here, personalization. Okay. And then let's just make this white. And all I have to do is share this. Okay, same thing. Very, very easy. Copy this link, go back here. Now, basically, only thing that I have to do is just switch the URL, which is the beauty about this API. Okay. So limit just one. I'm going to execute the step and I'm going to get the same thing. Okay, just one. Okay. So now I'm going to have to change the endpoint, which is going to be an email finder here. So find all emails at company because we don't have the full name. So an email finder is going to try to find all the emails. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Again, it's a post request and then domain. So instead, we're going to have to feed in the domain here. So just domain. So remove this. And then we're going to try to find the email. So execute the step. So we could not find the email, I believe. Yeah, I believe we could not find the email. Let me just double check just in case I made a mistake in the JSON. So, boom, let's see. Yeah, I believe it was a mistake. So let's see if we're going to find an email. Oh, we found actually an email. So we found a bunch of emails. So we can just pick one of these, okay? It doesn't really matter, guys, all right? So, okay, now this exact same thing that I'm going to do. Update the right sheet, which is the copy. So copy of real estate sales system. I'm going to have to ping this. So I'm simply going to ping this so I don't rerun the entire thing. So pin. So now I'm going to have to upload everything here. Okay. So previous node. All right. So the email is going to be in the HTTP requests. So let's just add one here. And this is the personalization. And simply if I execute the snap, same thing. I'm going to get here. I just added here. Well, I'm going to do the same thing. Just do 20 so I can find the emails again. And I'm going to generate the personalization, which is awesome. Okay. So while this is adding all my data, I'm just going to go to Instantly, which is going to be my cold email software that I'm going to be using to reach out to these people. Okay, that's exactly what I would do if you guys want to do this exact same thing. So you will see that I'm going to add everything here. Okay, now we're going to verify we are human. Okay, and then I'm going to go to login. And I'm simply going to create a new campaign. I'm just going to name this real estate. And then continue. Well, simply now, the only thing I have to do is just file, download, CSV, and then go to add leads, simply CSV, upload, very, very easy, boom. So description, do not import firm managers, name of the investor advisor, name or firm, so it's going to be full name. Let's see if we actually have a full name. Oh yeah, we need to actually get the full name separately. So yeah, so first name. So I'm gonna use AI to just give me like a simple, formula. So I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. And then I'm gonna go to Claude, for example. And I'm gonna say, generate a formula or generate a sheet formula to get the first name. And I'm simply going to feed in the screenshot. Boom. So this is the one, copy. Boom, autofill. All right, sweet. File, download, CSV. It's just going to upload again. And now I don't have that issue. So first name is first name. Email. So there we go. So hey, first name, I can get hey Thomas. And then personalization, check this out. Your busy entrepreneurs keep asking about tax-efficient investment strategies, but I'm guessing the last thing you want is to become a tax code expert on top of everything else you are managing. And then now I'm simply copy this, boom. Saad Mayo process. And there we go. That's what I like to call a good email. Okay, so in terms of subject line, first name, clients. There we go. If I go to leads, I will see that all of these, check this out. Your high net worth families keep asking about multi-generational wealth planning, but I'm guessing the last thing you want is to become a trust and estate expert. Wow. Your busy entrepreneurs. Your high net worth clients. This is what I like to call, I love this. So check this out. Awesome. So there we go, guys. That's how you actually find buyers for real estate. If you want to go for this niche, there's a lot of money in this niche and it made me a ton of money. So now the only thing you have to do is simply get out there, take action. I believe in you and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.